How's everybody doing? It's great to see you again. How many of you expected me to be here? Katie Wyndham right there. Sorry to steal your thunder. Jenny, are you okay? You good? Great.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started with Alabama. A reminder to please silence all phones, electronic devices, and then when you get the mic to ask a question, to give your name and affiliation. We are joined by Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy and players Kayla Beaver and Jocelyn Brisky. We'll start with a opening statement from Coach Murphy.
Well,
and then
thanks,
get a question.
thank you so much. And thanks for being here. The name of the game is fast pitch softball. Not fast run, not fast hit, not fast defense. And the reason we're here is because of these two young ladies, fast pitch. They're two pitchers. And they have done a tremendous job all year. And we always try to, we preach the defense and the pitching stays constant. If we can scratch a run, we're going to win. And they've basically done that all year. And both of them, they're brand new to the program. Miss Beaver is a grad student, a transfer from Central Arkansas, and Jocelyn is a freshman from Phoenix, Arizona. But they have done a tremendous job, and I'm so glad that they're up here with me. And you guys can get to know them. But this was it was a difficult year. And, I said this to our parents at a banquet. It was the senior banquet in April. We played Tennessee that day. And before we played Tennessee, we had this senior brunch. And if you ask every parent in the world, what do you want for your kid? The number one answer is, I want them to be happy. Right? 100%. But you know what? Not everybody's happy every single day. And you go through trials and tribulations. And that was our year. We went through the stuff. And now we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's Oklahoma City. And we persevered. We got through it. Nobody quit. It was one of the most enjoyable teams to coach because they didn't quit. And now we're here. And we're going to relish every second because there's no bad day at the College World Series.
All right, we'll open up for questions. Okay, we've got a second row on the left here.
Katie with Alabama Central for Murph and then for Kayla. You've talked about this being a gratifying year for you, but how gratifying is it for Kayla to come here in her last year and then get this opportunity to end her career at the Women's College World Series? And then for Kayla, for you, was that part of the reason you wanted to come to Alabama for the opportunity to play in OKC?
Well, I said it at Tennessee in the locker room after we won that 14-inning game. Almost every kid on this roster said, I want a chance to play at the College World Series. I want a chance to play at the Women's College World Series. And we were in Super Regionals. That means you're 2 wins away. We have a chance. So now we got to take it. And she said the exact same thing to us on her visit. I want an opportunity to play at the highest level. I want to play at the College World Series. And sometimes it doesn't work, right? And we never take this for granted because I remember the first time. And I said to my SID, John, I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. And you never know. And I'm so glad that she gets to experience this because she has been terrific, and you guys get to experience what she brings to the table.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, getting to come here, it was special, just to wear the A. I mean, that was something that I really wanted to do this entire time. And getting to play and finish my season here is, honestly, it still doesn't even seem real. I feel like I'm in a dream every second that I've been here already. And getting to, pitch beside Brisky and get to have the team that I have behind me, it's something special. And getting to do it here it's incredible.
More questions? Front row left. Jenny.
Hey, Patrick, I know you're focused on UCLA, but obviously them being in that Pac-12 tradition that is coming to an end, I'm wondering if you can just offer any perspective on just what the Pac-12 as a collective has meant to the sport and where it is today.
Shoot, everything. The first time I came here, I might have even talked to you, and I said, I want to be like Mike Candrea. That was the goal of every male coach. That was the role model, was Mike Candrea. And obviously, we all know UCLA is the gold standard. UCLA, Arizona. And it is a sad day. It really is. I think whoever made the decisions did not do them for the right reasons. There's no way in hell that Cal and Stanford should be going to Virginia Tech, Florida State, Syracuse. Are you kidding me? Those are two great academic institutions. And somebody made that decision? All of us in this room could have said, nah, that's not a good decision. So that's my opinion on that. But the Pac-12, that was what you played for. You know, we want to beat the Pac-12. First time we came, we had to go to Arizona State. We had never beaten a Pac-12 school. And it was the year 2000. We got sent to Arizona State and Hall of Fame coach Linda Wells, and it was like, oh gosh, here we go again. And then we broke through that door, and it was like the biggest thing in the world for little Alabama to go to a Pac-12 school and beat them twice on their field. That was a huge deal. So it's a sad day to see that end, because honestly, they've been great in a ton of sports, but to me, softball, synonymous with the Pac-12, up and down. I mean, Arizona State, Washington, Cal. I mean, look how many national champions are in that league. A ton. And Stanford's here now.
All right, we'll stay on the front row left with Joe.
Patrick, on the flip side of that, do you see the SEC becoming that power if it's not already, especially with the additions of Oklahoma and Texas?
Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you? Jeez. I don't even want to think about it, because, you know, when the seeding came out, 1, 2, and then I think there was 8 SEC, right? So 10 of the 16 seeds were eventually going to be SEC. So it is going to be, it's going to be amazing to begin with. And again, I sat here and said, when A&M and Missouri joined, the two best sports at those two schools was softball. Missouri had been here 3 years in a row, and A&M had just played for the national championship. Not baseball, not basketball, not football. The best sport at those two schools was softball, and they both come in at the same time. I could make the case for softball, the same thing with OU and Texas. They're both here. They're 1 and 2. No other sports at their schools are 1 and 2. I think it's going to be tremendous. We already sell out. You know, when OU comes to us, and they're coming to us next year, everybody can come. You're all invited. It's in the middle of April, and it is going to be a premium game, just like when LSU comes to play football at Alabama or Auburn or OU or Texas. It'll be a premium game, and it'll be a big deal, because it should be.
Unrelated, Mike White said in the last couple of days that this is a huge advantage for the World Series to be here for Oklahoma, and would like to see it be rotated as far as the site goes. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
There's not a comparable space. You know, we don't have, Dodger Stadium and Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. We have this place. And I don't see anybody else, going to pony up now probably $60 million, $70 million to build a facility like this, a press room like this, locker rooms like we have, the fields behind where we practiced, the locker rooms. You're not going to do it overnight. It's going to take at least 3 or 4 years, right? I don't know. I feel like this is becoming Omaha. Creighton was good in baseball. Nebraska's really good this year in baseball. If they go to the World Series, it adds another spice to the tournament. And I think we're like, deal with it. Norman's, 29 miles away? 29 minutes?
All right, we'll go third row left.
Morgan Uber with the SEC Network. A question for Jocelyn and Kayla. For you guys, to come off the Super Regional against Tennessee, a familiar foe, after going through just the gauntlet of what the SEC is all season long, how does that competition prepare you for this stage that you'll have ahead of you this week?
I think it prepares us for everything. Tennessee was selected to be a national championship team, and they were a contender for it, and they were an amazing competition. And the SEC, like Murph said, it's crazy. The competition is insane, and I think that we're more prepared than we could have been. And, getting to play somebody familiar, I think it made it way more fun. And, we did what we did, and now we're here to do it some more.
And also, along with what happened at Super Regionals. I mean, the 14-inning game, like we've done it all, we've seen it all. We had 2 of those this year, and I just think this team is very well prepared for what's to come, and anything can happen, and we all believe in ourselves too, so I'm really excited.
And can I add to that? We're the 9th place team in the SEC, and we're at the World Series.
All right, we'll go front row, right.
Tara Henry, Softball America. This is for Kayla and Jocelyn. Can you describe to us what it was like for the 2 of you to step on that field for the first time? Obviously something you probably have dreamt about since you were a young softballer. Murph, this is not for you. You've been here a few times. But for you, Kayla and Jocelyn, can you describe to us what that was like?
It was so cool. Just walking across. I mean, we've obviously played at Rhodes, and we play in the SEC. You go to pretty hostile environments there, and I mean, Rhodes is a hostile environment itself, but it doesn't compare to this. But I'm just really excited to just soak it all in, and the adrenaline and everything, taking them out and stuff. Like, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, for me, the past 4 years, I was watching it from home, and getting to be a part of it, like, again, it doesn't feel real. Like, it feels like it still hasn't even hit me yet. And I don't know, the adrenaline, the environment, it's something so crazy to be a part of. And I'm just truly blessed that I get to be a part of it with this team. There's nobody else I would rather do it with. And I don't know, just going back to everything that we've done this year, I'm so proud that we're here and get to play in this environment. And again, being here is just, it's absolutely incredible.
Murph, do you want to add or?
No.
Okay. Murph, for you, can you talk a little bit about the second half of the season, just utilizing a little bit more of small ball and how you seem to utilize that and use it to your advantage?
Yeah, I think all of the assistants had to kind of like kick me in the butt and say, we need to do something, okay? Whatever we're doing is not working. And so we really started working on hit and run, slap and run, bunt and run, delayed steal, all of it. And a little bit at a time. And I think the second game against Southeastern in regionals, where it's 1-1 in the 9th and we get a pinch hit home run for 2 runs, and then we pile on 3 more, I think that kind of started everybody took a deep breath and we can do this. And then the next day we scored 9 runs in the bottom of the first and had 10 hits in 1 inning. And it just kind of like everybody took a deep breath. And then we kind of, and obviously Tennessee has the best pitching staff probably in the country. And you're not going to score, 9 runs. But I think we put the ball in play well. We didn't strike out a lot, made them make plays, and that was the key. Because you put the ball in play, good things are going to happen.
All right, we'll go second row on the left, Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff Brown, Associated Press. I asked the other coaches this. I'll ask you. You're aware of the agreement with the NCAA and the conferences paving the way for schools to pay athletes directly. Softball's obviously grown. This development obviously could affect it. A big picture in the sport, do you worry that this change could divert funds from softball towards like paying football or basketball players? Or do you believe there's enough momentum in the sport and there's enough of a priority that it could be beneficial?
Well, a couple of years ago, they did a story in the Tuscaloosa News, and the 3rd highest revenue producer in Alabama was softball. It was football, then men's basketball, and softball, and we were all proud of that. We've charged tickets from day one because we think it's a sport that, you need to pay to watch it. And our fans have showed up like crazy. We've led the nation in tennis for like 17 straight years. I really don't think so. And I think my boss, Greg Byrne, is great at what he does, and he is going to figure it out along with a lot of other really good ADs and make this work. We had the banquet last night, and I talked to a couple of the other ADs. They almost said the same exact thing that Greg has been telling the head coaches at Alabama. Just we're gonna figure this out. It's the new normal, and we've said that for how many years in a row now. You guys are probably sick of that, but it's true. NIL, portal, and now House versus NCAA. And there's a lot of smart people, a lot smarter than me, that make those decisions, and hopefully they'll get us on the right path.
All right, we'll go front row left, Jenny.
Patrick, just to piggyback on Tara's question about small ball, you don't see as much slapping in college softball anymore. I'm wondering what the challenge is when I can't imagine there are as many recruits that are slappers. Like, how do you develop that at a time when it's just not as prevalent as it used to be.
I know. And, the first time we went to the NCAA tournament, we were shut out 1-0, 7-0. And I was recruiting in the summer, and I saw Mike Andrea, and he was like, "Hey, how'd it go? And I said, "Well, we got shut out twice." And he says, in big-time softball, the pitching dominates. And every now and then, all you need is to put a ball on the ground, and something good might happen. And, at the time, they had probably 4 or 5 slappers. And so the next year, I had 3 lefties in the lineup. We come to the World Series and win 66 games. So I think there's a balance between the two. And obviously, our leadoff had a great super regional. She had a great regional. She's the fastest kid on the team. And I still believe, when we had Alexis Mack, Kayla Breaux, Brittany Rogers, Jennifer Fenton, in the game of softball, if you can put a bunt where you want it, nobody throws you out. You could tell everybody in the crowd, "I'm bunting," and you're still safe. I've seen it. Alexis Mack could do it every single time. So but you have to be fast. The defense is so much better. Yes, athletes all over the place, great athletes everywhere. But I still think that at Tennessee, we put the ball in play, and they have really, really good pitching. So I think there is a spot for it still. Got to have really good bat control.
All right, this is our last question, second row on the left.
Kayla, you said you've been watching from home the last 4 years, but for both of you as pitchers, I have to ask if you're watching the last time Alabama and UCLA played in the World Series, Montana threw the perfect game, and just what you remember from watching that from maybe a pitcher standpoint.
Oh, yeah, I do remember watching that. I was sitting on my couch, and I was like, holy crap, she really just did that. And anybody, and I think Jocelyn can vouch, everybody wants that moment. Everybody wants to do that. And, coming in, that's a lot of shoes to fill. She's incredible. And I knew that coming into it. And it was one of those things that I could let it, run all over me and take over and, try so much to be like her. And, she's somebody that I look up to. She is. And I just knew that coming in, I had to be me. Because if I tried to be somebody that I wasn't, then I wasn't going to be successful. And I think, working alongside people like Jocelyn and Jayla and Alex and Ailey and Lauren, this entire bullpen staff it's something special. We all have something different, and getting to come in and work with them has made me so much better. And so, like I said, going back to that, it's incredible, and I would love to do that. I would. I'm not going to lie. And so we're just going to, take it one pitch at a time and see what we can do.
And this whole year, we've kind of relied on using the staff a lot. We talked about it before, all of us are so different from each other, and a lot of us complement each other very well. And whoever's turn it is to get the job done, we're going to root for them. And if it's our turn, then we're going to take advantage of our opportunity. But it's just really going to be trying not to let the moment get too big and just have that person's back, whoever's out there on the mound.
All right, that'll wrap things up for Alabama. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.